what we have here. This is an overseas Nissan Patrol Safari Edition. Right-hand drive. Part of me does normal collision work, and the best thing about me is I can sometimes come up with solutions to fix things for parts we can't get or they don't make anymore. Now that we toured this car, let's go see what we can do to repair this. We're gonna have to remake or repair this panel. From where we're at, we cannot find this panel and nobody seems to make one. Let's go. Pretty awesome. Right-hand drive, clean as a whistle too. Look at this thing. Camera's not backwards. It's right-hand drive. Look at that. That's really cool. Look at that. Fires right up. Diesel, right-hand drive, Nissan Patrol. This is wonderful. This is really cool. Huh, let's do it. Let's go fix this bad boy. Okay, follow along as I disassemble this. This was in a collision. These pieces we can't get. We're gonna have to figure this out. We'll do it together. Subscribe, hit the like button. Let's do it. Tech tip, because Buddha loves you. When trying to remove these rusty old fasteners, never just try to take them out in one shot. Back it out, push it in. Back it out a little bit, put it back in. That way, it'll work the rust and you can't just run it out because you can't always access to put in a spray lubricant. So put it in some, or first bag it out, put it back in, put it back out a little bit, work it back and forth. That'll help free up the corroded rust particles in the threads. Okay, like I said, we always find a little more damage. That's okay, because I've contacted my customer with proof of pictures to him over just the phone, and I'm able to, he understands what the difference is. And then we're gonna do some rust prevention because of all this. Sometimes when your car goes into the shop, especially something older like this and something that's from another place you can't even get parts for, the price of the job may go up because, you know, unless you want me to disassemble this and then give you a price, but then you have to pay me to disassemble it and reassemble it if you don't want it fixed. All right, now I'm gonna cut this off right here. Expose these nuts behind it. As you see, there's these welds. So I'll cut the steel plate and I'll go back and grind these welds off. Not through the bottom piece, because I'm not really sure what the bottom piece is just yet. I got the old piece cut out, I straightened it out, I'm transferring it over here to the new steel I'll be cutting. Okay, I'll leave it a little large, slightly large around the edges, and I'll trim it down once we get it closer to the truck. After this, we're going to pattern for the holes, find some nuts, and weld the little reinforcements on the back side. Okay, now I've cut my piece. I transfer this and I throw some paint over top of it. Voila! Mark the holes. This is a hole center punch. And then I'll mark here. Like so. We'll begin with a pilot hole and we'll drill it all the way. I've got some new bolts and some new nuts, and these are automotive quality bolts. I'm going to clean the metal, then I'll weld the nuts on, and then we'll get to the repairing of this thing. Tech tip, because Booter loves you. Say, Booter, how are you going to use your nice saw if you got vice grips in the way? There will be no vice grips in the way. I weld this piece to this with some big old booger welds just to hold it good enough. That is holding the piece. This is a fixed table. I cut my piece off, I can buzz this back down like nothing ever happened. Okay, so now I got that plate cut, the holes drilled in it, mounted to the plate. I drew these arrows to let me know that's the top side. I always draw my arrows up. This base plate piece is going to be that piece. Next we'll go into cutting that piece off. Now that we got that all welded on, what we need to do is recreate this extruded piece out of steel. Me and the customer talked about it, he's okay with it. I did a piece out of a thin piece. Now I need to make a full length piece and recreate this. I did all that with a sheet metal brake. Look at that. Boom. Little bit changes in the measurements, but that's where it's at. All right, we've got this piece of sheet metal cut. That is all the material it's going to take to make up this. I'm going to actually measure it out, put the lines on it, roll the beads in it. Once I roll the beads in it to kind of mimic this, then we'll come back, remeasure it out for the sheet metal brake. All right, look at that, huh? Badass. Look what we made us. There's the side profile of that. Tech tip, because Booter loves you. This isn't like an automatic snap center punch. What I do to my holes, I mark the center, and boom. Then my 1/8 inch drill bit won't walk. And then for my 1/8 inch drill bit, I'll just use a step bit, because this is only sheet metal. All right, I got all my holes drilled. Now, let's get in here, grind some welds, clean this thing up so we can start fitting these parts. Let's do it. As you can see, grinding the weld shouldn't take that long. Real quick and it's done. You don't want to dig into the metal. You want to retain the metal thickness. Buzz the surface off so we can set flat. The bottom we're just going to barely clean up, trying to retain all the thickness of metal we can. All right, look at that. Got our new piece all test fit, huh? Fits in the moldings. I'm going to weld a couple little reinforcements on it now. I'm going to straighten that out a little more. And then get that trailer hitch piece welded on. Okay, we're gonna square and level this thing, so it doesn't look silly. All right, Crazy Booter here. Thank you for following along this thing. What I need you to do now is actually go subscribe to my channel, give me some thumbs ups, and go follow me on Instagram. Crazy Booter with a K. All kinds of rat rod automotive badassery.